over the last few months, even though I wasn't making content on the game, I have been seeing people here and there under comment sections of certain videos or on Twitter especially saying that the game is gonna die, pointing out this problem and that problem, and I feel like I've been seeing that more. I don't know if it's like a recency bias or now that I'm getting back into it, I'm realizing it, and maybe it's been a thing for quite some time. Like this post here, I've never read this post before. 3 months ago, I immediately pulled this up and I clicked record because I know for a fact that when we read through this, we're probably going to discover some issues that we're going to expand upon more in this video. Again, I have been out of the game for quite some time, so maybe I won't be able to speak towards many of the points or some of the points here. Also read through some of the comment section. This is like me updating myself on what's going on with Dokkan, what's going on in the consumer mind, if you will, but also to give my 2 cents, whether that can be applied to or not. Because again, I haven't seen this too much, and I'm just curious as to see why this is even a talking point. I did pull up some truth showcases here, only because it's been so long since I've watched a truth showcase, dude. I wanted to pull this up to see. And I don't know if this is a point in the game or if this is a point in the list, but this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I wanted to go through some of the recent releases and just see what the attack stats are, because I have seen people complain about, yo, numbers are getting too high, like as a general complaint, and I don't have any reference. I haven't watched a Dokkan, showcase for a unit in like probably over like a year and a half. So I just want to see what these numbers are even at. What's considered decent? What's considered good? So I pulled up 4 of the most recent characters, and we're just gonna click through this and see what the attack stats are. The volume is off for all of these videos, so yeah. Okay. There is quite a lot to read here. I'm not going to, and you can give me your 2 cents as well. Like, do you think Dokkan is going to die? What are your opinions about it? But let's just let's hop into it. So. This post is made by Lord Brent Egg, the death of this game. Shout out to you for making this post. To be clear, I don't think... Oh, where's my... Okay, there we go. To be clear, I don't think the game is dying by any means, and I certainly don't want it to, which immediately we can agree. I would really hope Dokkan doesn't die anytime soon. It's one of my favorite games. However, it's going to happen at some point, and I want to talk about how it might happen. Okay, so this isn't like I thought this post was going to be Dokkan is dying, and here's why. Okay, so this is their opinion on how Dokkan would die if it were to. To be honest, I think it could happen 3 ways. Number 1, Dragon Ball continues to only get new content every couple of years, or every couple of years or so. And it gets to the point where Dokkan runs out of animations to use. Until whatever restrictions that are being held on the manga are lifted and they actually care about this franchise again, the game is on a slow time limit on what it could use, and we can only retread the same stuff so many times. I'm sure we'll eventually get manga stuff, it's just gonna take a while. Okay, so this is honestly a really solid point, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Let me pull up. I didn't mean to pull up that one. Let's go ahead and pull up the Thieving 6 wiki, right? Oh, we have some 2 new characters here, huh? Okay. Anyway, so I'm not gonna lie to you. Like me personally, and maybe I don't know why I feel this way. I'm not saying this is just how I feel. I'm kind of tired, and Gogeta is my favorite fusion of the 2. I feel like I'm kind of tired of seeing Gogeta in this game, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's always gonna... And I specifically mean super good. Like, I can take an infinite amount of Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas, right? But Super Gogeta... Sorry. Super... Gogeta from Dragon Ball Super. Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah, the Broly movie Gogeta, where he transforms into Super Saiyan, then he goes blue. Like, this form of Gogeta, I'm low-key tired of seeing him. And I'm not saying, oh my god, we've gotten 1 million of him in the last year. Like, that's probably not the case. But something about, like, when he releases on something in the back of my mind says, damn, like again? And it's like, if I'm feeling that way, and I haven't even played the game in a minute, I could only imagine what other people are feeling about certain characters. Because it's like you get a hype release, right? Well, I mean, like the anniversary bringing these guys, like these guys were hype, at least for me. The Vegito and the Gogeta were hype, but maybe that's, I don't know. I don't really know what it is. You either release characters that are super hype, or you release Dokkan Fest characters or other LRs that are not going to capture the, like, LRTN. I heard he was like really good, or even mandatory in that Million Arena event, if I'm remembering correctly. But even then, it's like LRTN, like, you know what I mean? Mercenary Tao is a Dokkan Fest, which probably deserved, right? But at the same time, it's not bringing any hype. And they're going to have to release and give Dokkan Fests and LRs to characters who aren't necessarily getting that amount of, I guess, what's the way you word it? Representation. Because either you do that, you give Dokkan Fests and LRs to characters who aren't getting representation, or you give them to characters who already have 5 LRs in the game, 7 LRs in the game, right? 3 Dokkan Fests, 4 Dokkan Fests, and 2 LRs in the game. So I understand at some point, you know, it's hard, because I remember a few years ago I was like, dude, there's no way that could ever happen. But low key, I could see it. Like right now, if I think about them releasing Saiyans, if I think about them releasing a Saiyan Saga celebration, part of me feels like we just got that, even though that's probably not the case, right? When was the last Saiyan Saga related thing that we got? Probably been a minute, huh? I mean, like an actual, like, yeah, I could be completely missing or skipping over characters here, which is definitely possible. We've got a lot of Majin Buu stuff, kind of, sort of recently. We've gotten Cell Saga stuff. We've gotten a lot of GT this year. We've got a lot of Super as well. Like, how many more Kaiokens need to release for them, for, you know, for us to be excited about it? So, and honestly, like, if they were to allow the manga stuff with the true UI and Ego, or Ultra Ego Vegeta and Black Frieza, like, that stuff would definitely be hype. But how long would that even last? Because it's not like you can spam that. If you drop an Ultra Ego Vegeta, you gotta wait at least another 6, 8, 9, probably a whole year before you drop another form of that. So what are we getting in between? I can definitely see Dokkan reaching this point at some point, but I honestly don't think it's gonna be like any time. Like, I think we're still safe for another 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, and that's only because of this. Okay, literally only because of this. Where is it? This card here, the Frieza and Cooler card, this adds a lot of flexibility and a lot of creativity that the devs can pull from, right? They can literally put any 2 characters they want, and there are combinations out there that people will pay a lot of money for. Again, UI Goku and what's it called? UI Goku and Beast Gohan. Now, I know people will go crazy. I'll go crazy for that. Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima and Super Saiyan 4 Goku from GT. Low key, like, there's no way you could sit here and tell me that's not realistic, because obviously it is. Anything could happen. Absolutely anything could happen. Cooler, right? For example, Cooler isn't even from the, like, original anime. He's just from a movie, and he showed up in the same card as Frieza, who we know is, of course, from the anime. So 2 characters from 2 different, like, quote-unquote animes could definitely coexist in a card together. 2 Broly, Z and Super Broly, would be absolutely, like, extremely cool, in my opinion. Again, there's just honestly so much they could do. They could even introduce a new type of card, which we've talked about on the channel quite a bit, and others have as well, where you have some sort of, like, battle card. Like, imagine they released, right, Beerus. Imagine they released a Beerus, and let's do God Goku, because they can definitely pull, you know, new ideas out of this concept here. Imagine we get one card where it's Goku and Beerus fighting in the card. Okay, there's a new type of card, and when the animation for these guys play, it's not Goku and Beerus fighting the enemy. It's Goku and Beerus fighting amongst themselves, right? Like you're watching a battle, like an actual animated battle between Goku and Beerus. But what ends up damaging the enemy is the shockwave that they create from that fight in space. That, in my opinion, would be super cool. So again, an LR Goku, like the name could be Goku versus Beerus. So that way, if we get another instance of Goku and Beerus together, then, you know, the links wouldn't interfere. But that's besides the point. Goku and Beerus, or Goku versus Beerus. The 12 key and 18 key is Goku fighting Beerus, Beerus fighting Goku, and they end with that one punch that they end up clashing punches, and it sends a shockwave that does damage, a lot of damage, because that shockwave was felt throughout the multiverse, right? If I remember correctly. So that can definitely do some damage to the enemy. I think that could be really cool. There's ideas and stuff like that that could easily lengthen the life of this game. It's just that the devs have to do it. They have to take that risk. I wouldn't even consider it a risk. I think that'd just be an instant money printer, in my opinion, again. But they have to think outside the box like that. They have to do things like that and keep innovating in order to make this game feel fresh. One benefit, I know I'm rambling a lot about this point, but it's definitely something to consider. One great thing about Dragon Ball is that the IP is massive, literally massive. So the benefit of that is that you could focus on GT and Dragon Ball Super and Daima for an entire year, and by that point, people are itching for Namek Saga. We're itching for Saiyan Saga a little bit. We're itching for a little sprinkle of Majin Buu Saga. So we get all these three, let's say in like 1 year for like a specific focus, and then after that, people are itching for like movie stuff, you know. And so we get a little bit of movies throughout the course of the next year, and before you know it, people are again itching for GT. Oh, we need a new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. We need a new version of this. So because the IP is so large, they have the benefit of being able to focus on so many different areas of Dragon Ball as a whole, so much so that by the time they come back around, it's been so long that they could easily just print another new version of Z Broly or Dragon Ball Super Broly, and it'll still feel fresh because it's updated with the current meta, etc., etc. So while I do agree with the point low-key, especially now more than ever, I still will say that we still have a long time, I think, to really see this game die because of this, especially if they create more cards like this. And if they create what, like the idea that I was telling you, where it's like, okay, they create, again, it's either this idea or some other idea to make the cards feel extremely unique and refreshing. Because I don't know about you, but I think it would be really, really, really cool if we got battle cards like Goku versus this person, Gohan versus Cell, or like an explosion does damage, like, you know, just things like that. You get the point. Okay, moving on. Power creep gets to the point where the game simply isn't fun. The numbers can only get so high before units start doing the same thing as one another to keep up with the rising difficulty, making units boring and repetitive. Mind you, both 1 and 2 could theoretically happen at once if nothing changes with the current state of the game meta, progression, or the franchise as a whole. So I guess this is like the point that I probably see the most. It's like artificial difficulty, right? Like, oh, the boss just has more HP, the boss just has more defense, the boss just has more attack. And then they end up releasing characters that kinda, sorta end up power creeping those events by just having more attack. More, like, so there isn't anything innovative going on. But the numbers part, again, that's something that we knew people have a trouble with. So let's just go ahead and let's quickly just see. Let's quickly just see what these numbers look like. So we're going to go ahead and just scroll through really quickly the showcase numbers for these guys. I'm very curious to see what these attack stats are. Did we just hop straight into it? Because I see the animations playing here. Oh, this is the intro. Okay. I guess we can see Baby, the GT Duo, and Omega in here as well. Oh, they're in slot 1, okay. So he's probably just talking about whatever, links, whatever. Okay, what was that attack set? Okay, so 35 mil. I mean, that's for a yellow coin LR that didn't look impressive. 35 mil is pretty good, dude. That kit that we saw, if that, I don't know, 35 mil is pretty good. Okay. Again, I'm. This is me just not being used to anything like this. Omega's at 51. Wait, what was Baby at? Or did he? Okay, hold on. What was that additional? Oh, that was 35. You actually have to watch the animations for all the characters I missed. I completely forgot to do that as well. I need to catch up on those animations. What was it? What's additional? 22 mil additional is pretty good. Wow, 22. So 23. So it was 30 plus. So that's like about 50, 60 mil attacks just in that one turn. I mean, that's pretty good. That Vegeta's tanky as hell. Oh my god. Okay, so they're just okay. What was Baby's? Baby's is 20. So are we just averaging 20, 30 mil attack sets and then Omega's at 50? Does he do additionals? I forgot. I don't remember his kit. Oh, he's an A. Wait, Omega's doing 51 mil as an AoE. Is that legal? I don't. Wait. Omega. I probably read it and just forgot about it. Oh, okay, so his 18 key is the AoE, so you can't see it more than once per turn unless they specifically say in their kit that they can do an additional ultra super attack. That seems fair. So he did over 100 mil in that turn, and then a 31 mil additional. Dude, so he's on over 130 million. Wow. Okay. 130 million in terms of attack stat. So that's what we're doing nowadays? Okay. Let me see what this Rose does, actually. I'm curious. I want to see what Rose... Oh, is he... What happened to the... Oh, I think he skipped turns. Right? Okay, so that's enough for that. Let's see what Super 17's EZA has him doing. So, actually super impressive, huh? Okay. Let's see here. Oh, we can see we can see Gogeta here. The Gogeta side of things. Okay. Okay. Oh my. Okay, we get it, Omega. Cheat. Bro. Wait, why is it? Oh, 55 is insane. Why is Omega attacking so many times? 58. Wait, that attack is kind of nice. Man. 55 and then additional 36? What is that, 91? This is a lot higher than what I'm used to. I'm used to like Beast Gohan doing like 15 mil super attacks and calling it a day. Bro, we're already over 100 and wow, okay. All right. That's pretty good. Oh, okay, what did 17 do? All right, Gogeta, we get it, bro. Like you're him. Take a breather, bro. Let 17 cook. 30, huh? So it seems like 20 million super attacks that is just low. Jesus. Yeah, 20 million additional is what we're doing. Okay. What about okay, we kind of already saw Baby. What about Broly? I heard people saying Broly wasn't good. Needs to get hit to build up though. Wait. Did I miss out on yeah. 13 mil? Yeah, that's kind of trash, bro. With everything else we've seen, that's not gonna lie, it's not great. That's not looking great, Broly. But he does have additionals, right? What does this attack set at? 7. Yeah, that's not. Oh wait, that attack is nice. Okay, cool. So let's just move on to another rotation. This is just beautiful, honestly. The little battle motion thing. What is his attack stat here? 8.4. Wait, so this Broly's bad. I mean, I heard like he's like tanky though, right? Like he's not bad at the game, like, you know, like he can't be bad. That's my goal, right? I also kind of want to see what Rose is at, like attack stat wise. These battle motions are really nice, huh? 2 links active. Here's out. Is that what I saw? This number is 18. Yeah, I could just hear Truth not really being super ecstatic with that. What is Rose's at? I want to see what Rose can do. Again, this is not an optimal team rotation for him, sure, whatever. I'm just trying to get a gauge of what these characters are putting up. Oh, Broly's actually still increasing his own attack. Wow, okay. I need to keep watching for Broly. I want to see 43. Okay, that's funny. let's just get to Broly here. What is Broly doing here? He's still. Oh yeah, he. Oh, that's the thing with Broly. Broly, he doesn't he infinitely stack attack for every single time he gets touched. Isn't that what it is? Oh no, it's up to. Okay. Oh well, for this is infinite. Okay, but this part isn't. Okay. So he's building that up. Wait a bit. I mean, okay. 16. Yeah, I mean, Broly doesn't look like extremely impressive again compared to everything else that we have seen, right? But I mean, I don't know, like maybe it's because I haven't played for so long, but seeing characters do 50, 67 mil, 70 mil is fun for me, but I can understand the second point where it's like I think the way they increase difficulty, whether it's through status effects or just buffing up the amount of HP and everything, like I don't know if that is super fun, you know? And there's only so much they can do to a character, so many new mechanics they can include, where units will definitely start to feel either boring or repetitive, or both. Unless they end up releasing specific events where like maybe they have like no defense, but they hit extremely hard, or vice versa. They don't hit hard, but I don't really know what they would do. I haven't really thought that far. Again, I need to touch the game first and really get a sense of everything. But even then, it's like, I don't know. I agree with the fact that the artificial increase in difficulty, from what I remember, isn't fun for me personally to experience. At the same time, I don't necessarily agree with the numbers being boring, because again, just a personal take. It is fun for me, but again, I haven't been in this game for a while, so maybe if I had been playing for the last year and a half, I would probably feel differently. But I don't know if this will kill the game. I think it'll have to be this plus a combination of some other factors that people really say, I'm done touching this game. You know, I could see this killing the game. But I don't think I could really see this killing the game again unless there was another factor or two that pushed people away. Number 3, this is the least likely, but would, in my opinion, kill the game the fastest. Adding any form of PvP. This is just not happening. the reason why this is not happening, obviously, is because they mentioned that I don't know if they wanted to add PvP to Dokkan, but Dragon Ball Legends is I think created for people's request for PvP in Dokkan. I believe that's how that story works, which to me tells me that they're not adding PvP. But even like, how would PvP work in Dokkan? Like, imagine you getting matched up to Truth. Is what I always say. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, they might have like a power level thing, but like power level doesn't really say much, because I can grind free-to-play units up the wazoo, grind their links over and over and over and over and over again, have my power level be absolutely high, higher than someone who pays for their account, but I can still get just wash because they don't have the new best. Like, I don't like, the reason why I don't really play Legends is because I don't really like that system. Like, you need to get the new character to interact with the most popular part of the game. That's just not something I'm really keen on experiencing. PvP would definitely kill the game, in my opinion, especially if it's implemented in a really, like, I don't know how, because technically we have PvP during World Tournament, but that's more of like a PvP VAI thing, where it's like you're facing, from what I understand, you're facing real teams of other players, but just not the players themselves, right? It's obviously not PvP, but it's like the closest thing we have to PvP in Dokkan. Okay, I'm predicting they will add a 9 in the visual damage cap at any moment in the near future, but I definitely lean towards 0.3 being the end of Dokkan. Yep, as long as the game remains single player mode, it will run basically forever. I don't know about forever. Again, as long as they innovate, the game can last for a very long time. If they don't innovate, I don't see it for lasting too long. Maybe again, another 3, 4, 5 years. But things are definitely going to change. They're definitely going to add new types of characters, and just increasing the quality of these units, which is why I don't really think this game is going to die anytime soon. But I could see it being the case. But PvP will definitely just kill it 100%. Especially if they lock like exclusive rewards behind it, and like let's say they introduce your favorite character as a free-to-play LR with beautiful art and animation, and you can't get it because you got to play PvP. It's just that, yeah. I don't know if power creep on damage specifically will even matter. Even when I started units, we're doing 1 million, which is such an inflated, meaningless number. Each unit could do like 10 million damage, and bosses could only have 100 HP, and the numbers would have been inflated in a way for a long time, I guess. This wasn't really my point, but this is kind of like what I was saying, where it's like I don't really see this being too much of a problem, because they can, like I said, make an event where the unit is hitting really hard but has no defense, right? Or vice versa, or like no HP but you get touched, you die, and which doesn't really sound fun. But all they gotta do is just mess with the boss, and like I don't know. It could be really annoying for sure, but I don't know if it's going to be killing the game. Power creep has already gone too far. They set themselves up for a perfect system with category missions, so power creep wouldn't be absurd, which I guess is a fair point. When basically every new Dokkan Fest added a new category, I didn't see the problem because it proved an incentive to summon to do new category missions. Creative team building maybe allowed you to use a different leader skill, but the direct leader would always be the easiest. Now units are so homogeneous, all needing a mixture of damage reduction, guard and dodge, and crit, or else they're DOA, which is true. You are dead on arrival if you don't have, you know, some of the best abilities in the game. 6 year was a peak of balance. This is what I, because the IP around the game is Dragon Ball, they would have to do something, as this user says, horrendously unforgivable to cause it to begin dying. As for point 1, I had never understood the reason why so many people on this sub think no more animations equals no more units. How many father-son Kamehamehas do we have? How many Final Flashes do people not remember when every super had a black background and Goku's all have the same 2 or 3 super attacks, yet the game still made millions? That's fair, but you know, the game evolves over time. And the game made millions because it was still very, very new. Like, back then, you weren't really paying for the animations, you were paying for the new card, and I believe their ability, right? Like, when I started the game back in the day, I didn't really care about the animation, because the animation was really now, the animation is definitely the focal point of Dokkan. Like, oh my god, new card? Let me see what their animations look like. That wasn't really the case, but I remember at least back then. Like, even during like the 4th anniversary, or like 3rd anniversary even, animations were great, but they felt more of like a nice to have, rather than if the animations are not good, I'm not touching this unit at all. Back then it was the card art and how good the character was in game. If they run out of animations, they'll just reuse animations but make it look better or different than before. That's what they've been doing for the last 10 years with DBZ and GT characters who haven't gotten any new animations. Not to mention Dokkan original animations or new DBZ games having unique animations Dokkan could use, like Enter 20. I just don't believe running out of animations will ever be an issue for them. I could see it being an issue for, like, in the sense of, like, people lose a little bit of interest. But, again, killing the game off of that, I think Dokkan, I don't think the reuse of animation will be the biggest problem. I just think that characters just feeling boring, repetitive, or if they don't innovate. I think that's like the big problem. You know, it's like a tricky, you know, back and forth. As for point 2, power creep is inevitable in any game. I don't see it being any different here. They will probably have to change the max damage display from 99 million to 999 million, but aside from that, I doubt it'll cause any decline in the game. As for point 3, the only real way I could see this game beginning to downfall, with the inclusion of PvP, of course. Wait, hold on. PvP is the only real way I could see the game beginning a downfall, but I hope to dear God that the devs know this and will never put a fully PvP mode in the game. The only way a game like this could begin to die is if they shift focus to PvP, or a similarly predatory game mode, but even then, DBZ is such a huge IP, and Dokkan is such a massive moneymaker that I don't think even PvP could fully kill the game. Realistically, the only way I could see Dokkan ending is if Akatsuki Bandai ever go down financial issues like buyouts or bankruptcy. This is, I agree with this, but I don't necessarily, again, if Dokkan shifts to like a PvP thing, I think they will feel it, and the game will begin to die, and they'll make some changes, right, to revert it. Because, yeah, keep this in mind. Right? If Dokkan just added PvP for no reason, right? Because I don't know a single person who's asking for PvP in Dokkan. If they added PvP in Dokkan for absolutely no reason, and they started to see month after month the game get less playtime, less people are playing it in general, they're making a lot less money, they would be idiots to keep PvP in the game, right? So for it to kill the game, they would have to not do a single thing about it, which I highly doubt, right? Any developer introduces something into the game, people react really badly to it, the game dies or they change it. So I would definitely see Dokkan changing it if it's a massive issue. So from that perspective, it won't kill the game. But if they implement it and just leave it in, I think it'll definitely just end up ruining the game for what it is. So PvP, I think, will definitively kill the game. I think if these two happen at once, and then Dokkan gets extremely greedy, like locking specific... Imagine they introduce a new LR where you can only unlock by paying $100. Like, it was like a $100 pack, which came with like not 1,000, but let's say like 200 Dragon Stones, 5 new copies of a specific LR, and, you know, a bunch of other rewards, and there was like a limited time only, $100. Like, that would piss people off. So if you had stuff like that start to happen in the game, and at the same time the animations weren't really like innovative at all, and the characters were doing the same exact thing over and over, like, I could see that starting to really cause issues. But, and again, this by itself can definitely be an issue, but I don't see it realistically being an issue because Dokkan is definitely going to change how they do things, innovate like they've done before. So while this can be an issue, I don't see Dokkan dying because of this, even though theoretically I guess it could if they don't do absolutely anything, which again they will. This, again, like I said, I don't really see it killing the game too much. Just change events, you know. Again, just innovate. I guess the theme of the video is innovate. Again, these two by themselves, or sorry, these two together, with some really greedy money practices, definitely kill the game. But this by itself, no. This by itself, no. This definitely, but even then, if they implement it again, nothing good comes out of it. They will most likely undo that decision, and Dokkan will probably, hopefully, recover from that point on. So, let me know what you think. How do you feel about Dokkan's current health? I'll see you in the next one.